incredible opportunity. I was a marketing associate for navigation. And I don't think I unpacked my suitcase one single day. I traveled the world, I saw amazing places, I got to be integral in developing products, and it was the opportunity of a lifetime. Next up, I was able to have the opportunity of having my first quota. Stryker allowed me to earn the opportunity to move to Kansas City, to move home, although my mother still says that she owes a kiss to whoever was involved in allowing me to move home, because home is Kansas City. It's where my whole family is. So Jim Heath, that might be you, so watch out, because she's serious. Having a quota, being 23 years old, having zero sales experience, moving and selling capital equipment in 2008 at the height of the recession was humbling, to say the least. I couldn't have done it without the team that's displayed here, without everyone that I worked with, whether you were in my division or not. It was a great experience. And again, through Stryker, I was able to earn the opportunity to be in the right place at the right time to meet my husband, who I then married, obviously, my husband. Got married, and because of that massive quota, was able to earn the opportunity to buy my first home. And then fast forward the opportunity to support a family and to have a little girl. This is my daughter Caitlin. She's just turned 1 last month, and I couldn't be more proud. So all of these opportunities, I really do thank Stryker for. Again, there's 25,000 people that work for our company. And to me, it's easy to lose sight on that and think that the combined sum of what we do allows us to grow more, to allow there to be more people that are in my shoes, in your shoes, to grow and have these opportunities to work hard, be passionate about what we do, and grow. So after 3 years in sales, I was approached with a new opportunity. It was an opportunity to join a team that was doing something special, that was engaging customers, not saying, what are you going to buy from us? Do you like our product or not? What can you do for us? We need to make more money, or anything along those lines. It was the opportunity to meet with customers and say, what can we do for you? What's missing right now in this residency program? How can Stryker, with our resources, meet and help with the pain in your clinic, in your program? It was the opportunity to build relationships, not only one-to-one, but across the country, across the globe. And so what I'm talking about is the NSC Medical Education Team. I don't know if I clicked the slide or not. Didn't. Okay. So at NSC Med Ed, I'm sure some of you have heard of what we've been doing and seen some of us running like crazy, either around the office or in an airport, more likely. But our mission is to positively engage healthcare professionals. It's to build relationships and to innovate. And this is our team. Jason King's our senior director. Ryan King specifically works with our team. I manage the western 2/3 of the country. Maya manages the eastern 1/3 of the country. Devin's our program manager, and we've got 2 associates who we could not survive without, Jesse and Lily. In 2013 alone, we trained over 5,300 healthcare professionals. And we supported 297 events, and as you can see on the screen, that's more events than there are days of the year. It's nuts. We are not fun to work with when it comes to logistics and shipping equipment everywhere. So what I'm going to do next is walk you through a couple of the different programs that we have. I could spend days and days telling you the different things that we do and the way we're innovating, but I want to just highlight a few, and then I want to move on to the next speaker who's much more important than I am. But this program here is called the Foundations of Neurosurgery, and it is something that we developed out of need. It was for first and second year residents. No one was doing courses for first and second year neuro residents. Here these very intelligent, just out of med school individuals come into their residency, and they've never held a drill before. They've never seen that there's an electric and a pneumatic drill. They've never seen that there's a cutting burr and a diamond burr. There's multiple ways to make a burr hole. And that's something that they just kind of had to pick up along the way. Well, Stryker said, why don't we dive into that? Why don't we take the opportunity to really train them? So we went from teaching hospital to teaching hospital to teaching hospital the first year that we dreamt this up, and did a program with this. Well, soon enough, the AANS, CNS, the SNS all came to Stryker and said, we love what you're doing. In fact, we love it so much, we want it to be our course, and we want you to help run it and pay for it. So we looked at this and said, what an opportunity. We are going to train every single first-year neuroresident with their help. It's now a requirement for every single first-year neuro resident. It's in 6 locations in July. Our team looks a little haggard in July, or certainly August. It's because of the boot camps, but it's all right. It's worth it. So we do these neurosurgical boot camps, and we allow the residents to take a weekend away. They fly to 6 locations and really do a step-by-step training of the use of the drills, of plating, of everything. So I can describe it more, but a video will be helpful here.
That sound you hear is a drill being used on a skull. But none of this is real. It's not a real skull. In fact, this is not a real brain. This isn't even a real operating room. It's all a simulation. Welcome to Brain Surgery 2010, boot camp.
Traditionally, people coming into residency programs, whether it's neurosurgery or any other specialty, kind of learn by fire almost. You kind of show up and you start doing things.
Dr. Dan Barrow is chairman here. And for the first time ever, he's trying to teach this first-year neurosurgery resident how to operate under a microscope on a red pepper.
Yeah, that's a little cool.
Yeah. These types of programs are popping up all over the country.
And to learn those skills here on models is certainly much safer than learning it the first time on a patient.
The mantra in surgery has always been see an operation, do an operation, teach an operation.
And that's why they call it a bolt.
Well, that style of teaching is disappearing. This boot camp is proof.
So these stations in here are designed to take these young neurosurgery residents and teach them some of the very basic skills that they're going to be using really literally in the next few weeks and then throughout their career.
I have touched before I do, right?
Trial and error. And that's the point. Better to have a disaster here
We get 50 minutes off?
rather than here. Now we're in a real operating room. That's a real brain. And I'm showing my residents how to clip a real aneurysm.
You got the pattern up as well?
But nowadays, the learning,
Right here, the bone's clean. There's no tissue there.
the training of your hands, the developing of judgment
Down, and then hook it back up, and then go back up again.
starts in a place that looks like this.
The whole goal was to make sure that the next generation of neurosurgeons provide better care than we did, and that's how we advance our specialty, is through research, is through teaching the next generation, and making them better than we were.
Put a field in there, I feel the Indian.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta, CNN, Atlanta.
Unfortunately for that video, it certainly isn't broadcasting that it's Stryker. But we certainly sleep well at night knowing that within the first few weeks that any brand new resident becomes a neurosurgeon, they're coming to this course and they're being trained by Stryker. They're looking to us as a resource for education and to improve their practice. And I'm not sure what more we could ask of that. It's fantastic. Along the lines of, well, before I move on to the next topic, here's an up-close view of what we do in the boot camps. We're actually teaching them how to do craniotomies. And we've got Stryker-trained professionals there to be able to help work with them. This is Kevin Kudla, our rep in Wisconsin. And this is my favorite part about the boot camps. At the end of it, they get to take home the skulls that they've done a craniotomy on and then actually put plating on. And unprompted, they're holding it up in the air, the pride that's there, they're there. They're neurosurgeons now. And they're starting their journey with us, with Stryker. So in addition to the boot camps, so that's your first, second year as you're a resident. Getting into your advanced years, your 6th and 7th year as a neurosurgeon, and not just neurosurgery, spine surgery, otolaryngologist, aspiring neurotologist. We do advanced residence courses for them, where we fly in residents and world-class faculty to a spot for 5 or 6 different courses a year. And the one thing I'll note on this one over here to the left, there's 2 surgeons. There's one here, and there's one here. Both of those surgeons, Dr. Aboylan and Dr. Hazem, they attended our course, didn't know him beforehand. The local rep invited them, and they said sure, and they came to a course in Little Rock with Dr. Ollie Christ. And by being there, they grew admiration for Dr. Christ and really appreciated his practices and what he was doing with his programs and his department. And they actually both went on to be his fellow. Now, the fellow spots for neurosurgery are hard to get, and they're hard to find, and they're hard to build those relationships when you're so busy in your residency. And because of the Stryker course, we were able to permanently alter the lives of those two neurosurgeons by helping them find that opportunity for a fellowship. I could go on and on about different resident to fellowship programs that we've been a part of. And this is one that I love because I've got the picture of all three of them in one. Now, the next program I'll talk to you about is our OR professional workshops. What we do, we've done 25 of them this year, or we're going to do 25 of them this year, is these OR professional workshops for nurses and scrub techs. We come into your city and we actually put on a course where you're able to do hands-on. It's actually very similar to the course we do to those first-year residents, but we won't tell them that. And we give them the hands-on opportunity to actually drill, to feel the difference between a diamond burr and a cutting burr, to do a burr hole, to do a craniotomy, to actually get hands-on with everything. And inevitably, at every single one of the courses I've been to, a nurse has pulled me aside and said, Kylie, I've been a nurse for 30 years. I know how to put every drill on the market together. I know how to put it together. I know when to hand it to the surgeon, and I know what burr they need. But I've never used one, ever. And I've never understood why some doctors want to use an acorn burr where some doctors want to use a perfit. I've never got it, but now I do. I've been able to feel it. And they're so grateful for it. We're able to get them some continuing education credits, and 99% of these courses that we do is with CMF. And so we're able to bring in our sister and brother divisions. And just recently, we did our first OR professional workshop with surgical. And I think that we're going to see a lot of growth in this area. So really our goal in MedEd is to meet with customers and understand where the need is. We don't want to just do a program to do a program. We want to find out where the pain is. We want to find out where we can help, where we can utilize our resources and our weight, and make it happen. When I think of medical education, I think of Dr. Ravi Sami, who's here today. Dr. Ravi Sami is a neurologist at the University of Cincinnati. And at the University of Cincinnati, we have a special relationship when it comes to medical education because we're very busy there. They think outside the box, and they bring in visiting professors, the best of the best from all over the world to come in and help train their residents. Not only are the residents getting to learn from the surgeons in their department, but they're wanting to look beyond that and say, hey, Kylie, do you have someone who can do grand rounds with the topic of skull-base surgery? And we work together and find the right person, and we can do a grant to help them make that happen. Dr. Sami came to me once and said, hey, Kylie, I really want to do a drilling competition among my residents, and I want to incentivize them and give them a textbook at the end of it. And so through Stryker, we're able to do a textbook grant to his residents, and he's able to give that to his residents as a reward for their hard work. More recently, and Dr. Sami likes to push the envelope for sure, and usually he asks me questions, and I say, I have no idea, let me find out. And he came to me and he said, hey, Kylie, I want to go to India. And I want to take my fellow because I'm really passionate about doing education internationally. I want to go to India and I want to lecture with their residents. I want to do live surgery and I want to do a course. But I can't do it alone. A lot of residency programs, again, are underfunded and they need help. And our goal is to find out how we can do that and do it to the best of our ability. So Dr. Sami actually recently went to India last year, and if all things go accordingly,